All right. Hello, Las Vegas. Let me hear you make some noise. Let's say hello. Let's say a nice hello to people all over the world who are tuning in as we are live worldwide with the 2020 Mrs. World Pageant. Thank you all for being here. I am incredibly excited to be here and so honored to be your co-host this evening and be part of the 2020 Mrs. World Pageant. Tonight, you're going to meet 48 of the world's most beautiful married women as they compete for the coveted crown. And right now, I'm honored to introduce you to another one of the most beautiful married women in the world. She was Mrs. World 2018, and this evening she's our co-host. Please welcome Alice Lee Gianetta. Alice. There she is.
Hello world. Hello, Gordy. Such a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Gordy. It is such a pleasure to co-host this wonderful event with you. And it's such an honor to be back on this stage again at the Mrs. World pageant. As a former Mrs. World title holder, I know exactly what these ladies are going through. The excitement, the adrenaline of being here representing your country, hoping to take home that crown.
I know they're all hoping for it, and you know what that feels like, but it's an honor for me to co-host this wonderful event with you as well. And now, I think we're just about ready to meet the 2020 contestants. Are you all ready to meet them?
The legendary Mrs. World Costume Parade.
Let's welcome them to the stage right now.
From the beautiful to the whimsical, funny to the fabulous, and that parade begins right now.
What do you all think? Are you cheering for your favorite? Let's hear some noise, Las Vegas.
Let us hear who's your favorite contestant.
Place of the cannolis, Sheila.
South Africa.
Presenting the minerals of South Africa.
Sri Lanka.
Representing the culture of traditional mass.
Swarna Kamal.
Goddess Lakshmi with Golden Lotus.
Switzerland.
Representing the beautiful Alpine region, Switzerland.
Taiwan.
I'm Polly, representing native Taiwanese culture.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Peru.
De la tierra de la doble fe, Ferreñafe.
Philippines.
Noemi Laudes Alcedes, Loponda Oriental.
Poland.
Dr. Eva Trzynski-Man Markova.
Puerto Rico.
Viviana Muriente, San Juan.
Russia.
Ekaterina, Omsk.
Scotland.
Melissa McNaughton, Glasgow.
Siberia.
Lubov Yakutsk.
Sicily.
Kristen Simone Sheffield.
South Africa.
Jacqueline Ferns from Limpopo.
Sri Lanka.
Caroline Jury, Colombo.
Swarna Kamal.
Dr. Rashid in New Delhi.
Feel free to cheer for your favorites. Let's make some noise, Las Vegas. Beautiful women. Congratulations, ladies.
Incredible. I told you, Gordy, I'm so motivated after seeing all of them that I should go to the gym and diet and focus on my health and fitness. They all look amazing.
You're looking pretty good, so you're already on a good way. You know what? I think it's time for some more awards.
Yes, and the first award is Mrs. Congeniality. Gordy, I think I might need your help on this. This is top secret. This is top secret. Mrs. Congeniality is Mrs. Peru.
Congratulations, Mrs. Peru. Our next award is Mrs. Photogenic, and it goes to Mrs. Aruba.
Our next award is Mrs. Fitness Swimwear. And she is Puerto Rico.
Congratulations. Our next award is Mrs. Public Service, and it goes to Mrs. Haiti.
Our next award is Mrs. Poise and Personality, and she is Mrs. Philippines.
And our last award is a new award this year that was just added. It is the Mrs. Ambassador Award, and this year it's going to go to Mrs. Bangladesh.
Gordy, I think it's also that time.
I think it might be.
That time where we announce our top
Is there an auditor that might have an envelope?
semi-finalist.
Could I trade these envelopes for the envelope you have? I'll take those.
We need our auditor, Bob and Carrie.
We'll take these.
Thank you so much.
You know what's interesting? This says, well, first it had top 15, and 15 is crossed out and it's top 20. This year we're going to have a top 20.
The ladies are so amazing, the judges couldn't decide. So we have to do top 20. Are you ready? I'm so nervous. Okay, you start, Gordy. You go first. You go first.
Right. The first Mrs. World 2020 semifinalist is Switzerland.
Next is Mrs. Gibraltar.
Our third in the top 20 is Mrs. Siberia.
Next is Mrs. Virgin Islands.
Next, please welcome Mrs. Russia.
Next is Mrs. Sri Lanka.
Our seventh member of the top 20, Mrs. Cherokee Nation.
Next is Guam.
Next, let's please welcome Mrs. Ukraine.
Next is Mrs. New England.
Mrs. Costa Rica.
Mrs. South Africa.
Our next one may have a few fans here. Mrs. America.
Mrs. Malaysia.
Next, please welcome Mrs. Peru.
Mrs. Wales.
Mrs. Ireland.
Next is Mrs. Japan.
Next, please welcome Mrs. India. Looks to me like there's just one more space.
Last space. Last but not least, Mrs. Denmark. Thank you so much, ladies. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we'll see you back here later on in the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all those contestants.
Thank you, ladies. Top 20 semifinalists. Thank you to our top 20 semifinalists. And we'll start the swimwear competition with Switzerland. Mrs. Switzerland is Ann Pennington. She's a fashion stylist. She's the CEO of Eye for Style and married for 13 years. She has one son. Gibraltar. Gibraltar is Grace Catherine Baker. She's a corporate account manager, and she's been married for 4 years. Siberia. Mrs. Siberia is Lubov Mironova. She's a businesswoman, and she's been married for 2 years with one child.
Mrs. Virgin Islands. Russia. Mrs. Russia is Ekaterina Kuznetsova. Mrs. Russia. Sri Lanka. Mrs. Sri Lanka is Caroline Lucy Ann Jury. Mrs. Sri Lanka. Cherokee Nation. Mrs. Cherokee Nation is Lorette Arends. Mrs. Cherokee Nation. Guam. Mrs. Guam is Marini Gadiana Raman. Mrs. Guam. Ukraine. Mrs. Ukraine is Anna Daimisheva. Mrs. Ukraine. New England. Mrs. New England is Julie Cangelosi. Mrs. New England. Costa Rica. Mrs. Costa Rica is Nicole Sandy Aguero.
World, the formers, all that sit in the crowd, and all these ladies here tonight. Passionate. Thank you.
Mrs. Sri Lanka.
I want the judges to know, in my childhood, I have suffered with my so many depression, and I have tried to kill myself. As Mrs. Sri Lanka, I opened my own campaign called Be You. I teach the children to be yourself no matter what. As well, Be You teach the parents also to encourage them and support them, so those children can be the best of the best. If I be Mrs. World, I'll be able to continue my Be You campaign to the worldwide to help the children who are suffering from hate and depression. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. South Africa.
Not being able to have children of my own never defined me as a woman. Fostering 3 beautiful baby boys taught me passion, compassion, and love for your fellow person. I am who I am because of that. Thank you.
Mrs. Ireland.
I would love the judges to know that I am a firm believer that a healthy beginning in life leads to the best possible outcome for a bright future. There are hundreds of millions of children out in the world today that are suffering from many childhood health issues. And if I am blessed to become your next Mrs. World, I will make it my legacy and my passion and goal to get out there and combat the worldwide childhood health epidemic. Thank you.
Mrs. Ukraine.
I would like you to know that I would like to be an example for growing my sons and another children, and an example for another woman in the world, because I'm passionate in sports, in article, and I want to show this world how could you be beautiful and communicative and help to each other.
Mrs. U.S. Virgin Islands.
I want the judges to know that I am ready, that I believe that my life experiences have brought me to who and where I am today, and as Mrs. World, I will dedicate my year for bringing awareness to childhood cancer, and it's very much needed. And not only that, the opioid epidemic that is, running rampant. Thank you.
Thank you. How about a big round of applause for your finalists?
Fantastic.
All
Thank
six.
you, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies.
Let's
We'll
have a
see
big
you
round of
in a
applause.
little bit.
Who's your
Thank
favorite?
you.
Who's going to be the next
Thank
Mrs.
you.
World?
Wow, Gordy. All of our top 6 finalists, they are...
One last round of applause for your 6 finalists, because now 6 will become 3. Are you going to do the honors?
Yes. Oh, I'm so nervous. And our top 3, in random order, Sri Lanka. Ireland. U.S. Virgin Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please give another round of applause to our other 3 finalists on the stage
Thank you,
tonight.
ladies, and congratulations.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ladies. Thank you.
All right, we're down to 3. Who's going to win? All right. Now, here's how this is going to work.
Yes.
We have a bowl with 3 questions. We're going to have each of you pull a question out. We'll read the question to you, and you'll answer it briefly. We're looking for 15 seconds or less. Mrs. Sri Lanka, select a question.
In a few words, why should the judges vote for you?
I want the judges to vote for me because I'm ready to help the children who are suffering from hate and depression. Like I went through in my life situation, I struggle, I try to kill myself, so I understand their pain. So I'll be able to continue my BU campaign to worldwide. Thank you so much.
Mrs. Ireland.
Please finish the sentence. I deserve the title of Mrs. World because...
I have to tell you, in this moment, the one word that comes to mind is unstoppable. That's exactly how I feel in this moment. And I'm going to take that feeling and that momentum, and I'm going to take it worldwide. And I'm going to use my platform of childhood health, and I am going to combat the worldwide epidemic. Thank you.
Mrs. U.S. Virgin Islands. You get to pick one. It's easy.
Finish the sentence. I will become the best Mrs. World because...
Because I am an agent of change. My family has an organization for childhood cancer research, and we've raised already almost $500,000. And I will continue to do this by planting seeds of hope, love, and faith, one cure or one smile at a time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations to our final
Thank you,
3.
ladies. Thank
you,
you.
ladies. Let's have a large round of applause. Come on, who's it going to be? Thank you, ladies. famous Master Butler Extraordinaire, Valentino Crespo. Valentino? Always a pleasure, sir.
And our auditors. Oh, we have the final ballot.
Best of luck, ladies.
Oh my God, Gordy. I'm so nervous. And our second runner-up is Virgin Islands.
All right, ladies. One of you is going to be the first runner-up. The other is our brand new Mrs. World 2020. As you know, if for any reason Mrs. World cannot fulfill her obligation, the first runner-up would take the title. Good luck to you both. Now, we're going to announce the country of the new Mrs. World. The new Mrs. World is...
Sri Lanka!